A common type of data visualization is a line chart that has its y-axis values and as its x-axis time. So this is a multi-series line chart created by Mike Bostock, who is the creator of D3. And it's an example of line series that have values of temperature on the y-axis and dates on the x. Here months, and then within the months, days. We won't be looking at plotting multiple lines just yet, but we'll be looking at using dates within D3 and using the time formatting functions in order to parse date strings and turn them into JavaScript date objects. So let's take a look at our web page, and it's got nothing right now. We'll go ahead and open the developer console, Command-Option-I or Shift-Control-I, and we'll head to our code, and the data set here at line 12 has an array of objects, and each of the objects has 3 properties: key, value, and date. The key property is the same for all of the objects within the array. The value changes, that'll be our y-axis, and then the date value changes, and essentially it's formatted as year, month, and day. And as you can tell, the days go from the first day of the month of January in 2014, and they go all the way to the 31st. So let's create a function that will take the string that is within the date property and turn it into a JavaScript date object. So we'll go to the bottom of the code. We've got nothing here except for the creation of the SVG element at line 56, and then a group within that element at line 60, and that's called chart. Now I'll create a function called var date parser and set it equal to d3.time.format. Open and close parentheses. And here, the time format function is looking for a specifier. Essentially, it's wondering, with the string that you'll give me, what is the format of that string so I know how to properly turn it into a JavaScript date object. So let's head to the web page, and I have open in another tab the time format function within the D3 API. So here, in a list, you can see all of these % signs followed by letters. And these are essentially special characters that you put into the time format function in order to tell D3, this is the format of the date string that I'm giving you. Now, I've already looked this up in advance. We'll go to the code, and the format is, I'll open and close a string, %y with a capital, /%m lowercase, /%d lowercase. And you can intuit as to what that means: year, month, and day. Now, outside of this function, I want to complete the statement with .parse. And what that does is that returns a parsing function that uses the format that we've specified. On a new line, I'll type console.log and open and close parentheses. Let me copy this last date string and paste it within console.log. So what we'll see in the console is the string just as it's represented. On a new line, I'll type console.log date parser and open and close parentheses. And then I still have that information copied on the clipboard. I will paste it. And now what we should get back is a JavaScript date object. Go to the web page, and we'll click the tab that has our web page. Refresh. And now you can see the first item is the string as it's represented within the date property. And then you see a JavaScript date object. And we haven't set any minutes, hours, or time zone or anything like that. But what's most important is the January 31st, 2014. So up next, we'll take a look at using the date information within the date property in our data set in order to plot these points according to their value and their date, y-axis and x-axis.